Let's go. I got big dreams, I'ma do big things. Yeah, you see me on the big screen looking so clean. I don't move slow, I move fast, right past anybody taking life for granted, yeah, that's too bad. I be grateful for everything that I have. You only got this life, you don't get it back. Make the most of it, become the best that I can. Everybody look at me, I got a plan. You gotta work hard, play hard, do it from the start. Cause how you do anything is everything, it's art. Stay consistent and do it every day. Don't let fatigue get in your way. Cause 10% of something is better than nothing. You better do something if you wanna be something. I can feel my stomach rumbling, I'm hungry. Big things coming, I ain't bluffing, yeah.
Welcome to episode 3 of the 3 and Out Renaissance podcast. I am your host, Moneymaker Chris. I got my first guest on the new relaunch of the 3 and Out podcast. I got a good friend of mine joining me here today to talk some ball. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my good friend, Mr. Damon Smith. Damon, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Moneymaker. It is good to talk to you, my friend, and I am excited for the 26th NFL season.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So let's get started. So before we get to the 2026 season, let's take it back to last season. Very interesting season. A lot of things went down. Of course, Kansas City not making the postseason, that was a big thing. A lot of injuries, a lot of key players. Like Mahomes went down, Lamar went down, Jaden went down, Tyreek Hill, Neighbors. A lot of injuries to a lot of key guys. Tell me, how did you feel about this past NFL season? What were your thoughts on the overall season?
Well, I think you touched on one of the key factors. Injuries played a huge part in the way some things shook out. Obviously, Malik Neighbors, it was a devastating blow for the Giants. I'm not a New York fan by any means, but when you've got talent like Neighbors and then you draft a quarterback like Dart and you add a running back that just is a bowling ball that wants to run through a brick wall in Scatterbo, everything was looking like it was pointed in the right direction for the Giants fans.
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors going down was massive.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mahomes getting hurt, Kelsey getting hurt. There were a ton of injuries that had a huge effect on how last season played out, and they'll roll over into how this season plays out, I think.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely, most definitely. Now, I brought this up before. Now, a lot of these key guys, they don't play a lot in the preseason. A lot of times when they, getting that first contact, it's once the season starts in September. Do you think guys should maybe not play a lot in the preseason, but maybe play a game or two, get a couple of series in, to kind of get their body used to getting hit and stuff again? Because I think that's having a lot to do with these injuries, because they're not playing at all in the preseason, and then they get that first action in the regular season. Like, takes the time for their body and stuff to adjust. Do you think some of these guys should be playing just a little bit more in the preseason?
Honestly, Chris, I think that picture gets painted for us with the clearest brush when you see all the guys that hold out and miss training camp
Mm-hmm.
and then come in at the tail end of camp. Almost every single one of them ends up with a soft tissue injury the first couple of weeks of the season, right at the start of the season. Almost every one of them.
Yes.
And I think that tells the story of, look, these guys missed the entire camp. Their bodies, while they may be athletes and may be in better shape than I am or that you are,
Mm-hmm.
they are not in the kind of shape that you have to be in to go out and play a 17-game NFL schedule. They're just not.
No,
They
you're right.
have to get reps in the preseason. They have to get reps in training camp. Their hamstrings aren't ready. You can't just jog or just do a stair stepper or just go do some sprints and some footwork drills and not really work at game speed and then expect them to go all of a sudden week one. Okay, boys, now we're full speed ahead, 100% every play. The soft tissue is not made for that. It can't take that.
No, you're 1000% right about that. Perfect example. My guy, Terry McLaurin. He had the whole thing with the contract situation, held out and everything. Finally got things negotiated, tried to rev it up to get ready for the first game of the season, and he was injured the whole season. I mean, that's a perfect example of it right there, man.
Yeah, and it happens every time, every season
Yeah, like
when
pop-up.
when we have a skill position player hold out for the big contract. And look, last or I want to believe, didn't Micah hold out before the trade, and then he got traded,
He did,
and
yeah,
then
Michael
he ends up
Parsons, yeah.
it's almost if you go back and look, it's almost every single one that
Mhm,
holds out through the majority or all of training camp ends up with a soft tissue injury or they tweak an Achilles or they pull a hamstring or
mhm.
they've got hamstrings that just maybe it's not a tear or it's just a grade 1 or a grade 2, but it lingers with them for weeks because they're not in game day shape. You can't ask them to go from I'm just standing over here with my agent waiting on that contract to it's time to jump in and go 1,000 miles an hour. Your body's not made to do that. It'll
It's
fail you.
it's really not in a game like football. That's a very physical, violent game and everything. You can't just expect to just go out there if you haven't had any reps, any practice or anything like that, and just supposed to be going out there being ready for a full, 17-game season. Like, nothing's going on. You can't expect your body to respond to that. That's what I'm saying. You see all of these injuries, and that's a big reason because of it. It's unfortunate, man.
It's very unfortunate. And
It
it's honestly, I think it's one of those things that it's avoidable. I think
it
one,
is.
you have to get them enough work during training camp, and they have to play in at least part of one, if not at least, I would say they need to play at least like the first half of 2 preseason games to
Yes.
where their body is at least used to going full speed, still on limited reps, but at full speed, game day, style. I think things are way different. I'm way older than you, and like back in the day, it was like legit 2 a day full pads at an NFL training camp.
Mhm.
It's just hell. It was like that in high school football in Texas.
Mhm.
You were in full pads twice a day, every single day. Now they've scaled it back. You are only allowed to be in pads so many practices throughout the course of the training camp. You're only allowed so much contact. It's just we're at a position now that they've tried to limit it. They're doing what they believe will help keep the players safe and healthy. But okay, if we're going to do that, then every single person needs to take part, and every single person needs to be there through that entire camp, so they can gradually adjust their body to be prepared to play when week 1 starts. Because once week 1 starts, the brakes come off. The car has no brakes. It's full speed ahead. You're going downhill, and you're either going to make the corner at the end of the road or you're going to hit the damn wall. That's all there is to it. It's the NFL. Once the season starts, you got to go. So
Yep.
you have to do everything in your power to get them ready to go game 1. And I don't honestly think that's what they're doing at this point.
No, that's well said. And you get some teams, like 6 teams, didn't make the postseason. You have some teams that haven't played football since December. If we were in the postseason or in the Super Bowl, you haven't played football since January or February. And all of a sudden, like I said, you're going through training camp and everything, not getting all the full reps and the practices and everything, not playing in the preseason. And all of a sudden, you're supposed to jump into September and just be ready to go. It doesn't work like that, my friend. It really doesn't. You have to get out there and practice and you gotta get some of those real in-game reps because you're not gonna be ready for the season.
You have to. You have to. And I get it. You don't want your stars to be out there getting hurt in a
Yeah,
preseason game.
I get that.
I understand. I get that too. But guess what? If you don't have them out there and you don't have their bodies ready, they're going to hurt themselves in game
Yeah.
1 or game 2 because they're not. So it's a double-edged sword. But
Mhm,
I think you're playing the odds for anybody out there that's a gambler. I think the plus money is you run them through a full training camp and you
mhm,
get them a little work in at least 2 preseason games.
mhm.
Maybe not the third, maybe not the last preseason game. Maybe I can see, okay, let's not take a risk on anybody because we're just a week away from the season starting. But the first couple of preseason games, I think everybody should get at least a quarter, if not a half of work, just to start to get their body adjusted and ready for we're about to go full speed. And I think joint practices during training camp, I think are huge because I
Yes,
think you go a lot harder against
mhm,
another team than
mhm,
you do when you're going against your own team. And
mhm.
I think that helps your body get ready for what's right around the corner, which is the start of the season.
Yeah, I definitely all for those joint practices, and you could break it down like this: you have 3 preseason games. First preseason game, maybe have your starters and stuff play a quarter. second preseason game if you haven't played a half. That third preseason game, rest your starters and let the guys that are trying to make the team play. Do it like that because, like I said, you cannot expect these guys to be ready to go full throttle if they haven't had any type of full contact at all throughout the course of training camp and the preseason. You just that's not a realistic expectation, I feel.
Not at all. And the way you broke it down, I agree. That way that, the first game, they're only out there for a quarter. So it's only
Yeah.
25% of the reps they would normally have. So
Mhm.
it's not like you're putting them at high risk.
Mhm.
But that's 25% of the snaps that they needed and they got them. And the
Mhm.
next game they play a half, 50%, still half of what they would normally play in a regular season game. So it's not like you're pushing them. It's
No.
just like it's almost like stretching before you run. You
Yeah.
don't just wake out of bed, go out your front door and take off sprinting. Well, some
No.
people might, but it's stupid. The people that do that are going to get hurt.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to stretch first.
Yes.
Consider those preseason games as okay, we're stretching our guys out. So when the season starts, the sprint can start, the race can go.
Mhm. 1000%, 1000%. I hope somebody out there in the NFL, hopefully they're out there listening to this because this is very good advice. I think this will help so many guys across the league if they take what we're saying here. So many guys to be helped out by this. So many teams to be helped out by this.
Yeah, and if you look back, like if you were to go back into the NFL stats and look at the preseason games in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s,
Mhm.
I would I would almost and I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I could be making a fool out of myself right now on your podcast, but I'll take that chance. I would almost guarantee that starters were playing in some of those preseason games 2 or 3 decades ago.
Oh, yeah. I
And
remember
I
it.
think if you look at it now, hardly no starter. They don't wanna play hardly any starters, at
Mhm.
least not any star caliber players in the preseason. But go back and look at how many more soft tissue injuries we have now than
Mhm.
we had then. And then take into consideration, we are so more advanced now with the medical issues, the way that the treatment and the trainers and the way that they can prepare the players of today, that was not the same 20 years ago, not the
Mm-mm.
same 30 years ago.
Mm-mm.
We have made huge advancements. So if anything, we should be suffering less soft
Mhm.
tissue injuries now
Mhm.
because we know more. We have better medical expertise. We have better training methods. We have better supplements that are legalized by the league to help the players adjust and adapt, but that's not the case. Instead of having less, we have more. Well, I think it correlates exactly back to we're not stretching the guys before we ask them to run. We're not playing them in the preseason and getting them reps before it's time to go out week one and just send them full throttle. And I think you would think people with enough common sense could look at all the numbers and look at all the variables and correlate enough factors to see that it makes sense and do something about it. But so far, that doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
That doesn't seem to be the case at all. And like you said, I remember like watching football like in the late 90s, early 2000s. The starters were playing. They were playing in those preseason games. We weren't doing nothing too crazy or anything like that, but those guys were playing and getting those reps in. But now it's like, oh, I don't want to play in the preseason. I don't want to get these guys hurt. And I totally understand that. But I guarantee you, you would have much less of these soft tissue injuries and stuff if guys would just play just a little bit. Like I say, a quarter here, a half here. Just getting those in game reps are so important, I feel. They're so crucial to a team season, I feel. They're so crucial.
There's an age old adage that says you have to crawl before you can walk and you have to
Mhm.
walk before you can run.
Mhm.
You can, and I get it. People will say, well, that's metaphoric or that's this, it's semantics. At the end of the day, you could literally translate to that and it's still effective. You literally have to crawl before you can walk, and you literally have to be able to walk before you can run.
Mhm.
You have to take steps to reach your goal and to reach the point to where now you're running down the street. It's no different with the training. You have to take the steps to prepare your body to be able to go through a 17, and if you make the postseason, a 2021 game season
Mhm.
in the NFL against the best athletes on the planet, you can't do that if your body is not put into a position to be prepared to enter that at 100%. And resting the starters an entire preseason, all you're going to do is week one, you're going to throw everybody out there. And now you can't take plays off. You can't go 75%. You can't warm up. You're playing against a team that's trying to take your head off. And every single week matters. Every win matters. Every play matters.
Mhm.
Well, so now you're asking them to go from 0 to 100. And that it doesn't work. Your body will not withhold that for for an entire NFL season. Maybe you get through week one without anybody hurt, but I bet you don't get through week two, and I almost guarantee you don't get through week three without somebody being banged up or having tweaking in the hamstring or tweaking some kind of tendon in their calf or their Achilles. It's just there's too many variables and too many things you're going to ask their body to do on the fly at full speed in an NFL game that you cannot expect them to be able to do that if you haven't put them through at least a small percentage of those situations through training camp. To me, it's a boneheaded decision. It should be an easy fix, but apparently their opinions and mine differ vastly.
Clearly they do, as well as mine, my friend, as well as mine. I guess I guess they got very different views of this whole situation. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I think it's an easy fix, but hey, it is what it is, my friend. It is what it is. Next up, Kansas City. I mean, we know Kansas City. They've been going to Super Bowl. They've been dominant. Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, Andy Reid. They've been doing their thing. But last season, they did not make the postseason. Patrick Mahomes went down. Kelsey went down. Not the same Kansas City Chiefs that we've used to seeing. What are your thoughts on Kansas City last season, and what do you see for them going into this season?
Well, I'd have to pull out the old record books or pull up the stats, but and I'm getting older, so my memory does fail me. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that might be the worst season they've had since Coach Reed has been there.
I
I
wanna
don't
say
remember them being
yes.
that bad since he's been there.
No, they've always been solid, they've always been consistent. Even back when they had, Alex Smith there at quarterback, they were
And he
still,
took them to the
consistent.
playoffs the
Just
year
yeah,
before Mahomes started, right?
yeah, he did, yeah. Oh, yeah, man, he did.
Yeah, so it's the things that happen in Kansas City, a lot of young fans have never seen them struggle like that. They
No.
only know what's happened since, the Patrick Mahomes era started, and that's just been winning the AFC West, going to the playoffs, and in most cases, at least getting to the AFC Championship game, if not a Super Bowl.
Mhm,
That's what they come to know.
mhm.
Last year was something completely different, my friend.
It was,
You
it was
got
like night and
Worthy
day.
getting hurt on that crosser
Oh,
where I
yeah.
think Kelsey hit Worthy and Worthy got hurt, and then got hurt at a point. Mahomes gets hurt.
Mhm,
There's people on the defense that are banged up. The
mhm.
offensive coordinator's under fire because all of a sudden there doesn't seem to be a run game that's working. And now we've had receivers that are injured. And, back when they were thriving, you couldn't cover Travis Kelsey one on one in his heyday. You
No.
could not cover Tyreek Hill one on
Mm-mm,
one in his heyday.
mm-mm,
So you had a guy that could stretch the field that demanded double coverage or at least a deep safety on his side shading him.
mhm.
Then you're in a position to where you've got a tight end that a linebacker can't cover one on one. So you have to require help on him underneath, whether it's
Mhm,
keeping your box safety up tight.
mhm.
Well, that changes the complexity of how an entire defense can run. There's
Oh,
only a
yeah.
certain way they can play against you now.
Mhm,
Well, there is no Tyreek Hill anymore.
mhm,
Travis Kelsey is not the Travis Kelsey of old. Then you
mhm.
begin to suffer injuries. You've got an offensive line that you're trying to rebuild. I'm not saying they're not trying, but there was a couple of years that I don't think they tried hard enough that caused
Mhm,
Mahomes to get hit more than he needed to.
mhm.
So, all that said to say, you should have Mahomes coming back healthy this year. You should have Kelsey back healthy. Worthy should be healthy, assuming Rice doesn't wake up one morning and decide to go break another law, he should
Mhm.
be healthy
Mhm.
and available. And now you've got enter Eric Bieniemy back as offensive
Yes.
coordinator. That was a
Mhm.
much more dynamic offense when Eric was there previously.
Definitely.
So
Yes.
I think that definitely helps them on the passing game side and the run game side. And top that, on the run game side, you just added one of the best running backs in all of football in Kenneth Walker
Kenneth
the
Walker,
third,
3rd. Yep, yep, I was just gonna say that.
who you add that to the mix, and you've got the second year kid from SMU, Brashard Smith, I think.
Mhm.
Uh, more, he's not a every down back, but he gives you a special teams player. He gives you a passing down back. He gives you a speed option that will definitely be helpful for them. You know, they should have, to the best of my knowledge, they still have Hunt coming back.
I
I know
wanna say
Pacheco's gone, but Hunt's still there,
I
right?
think I think Hunt's still there. I think he's still there with them.
So you put him in a position to where now he doesn't have to be RB1. He can be RB2, and all he has to do is just spell Walker when he needs a breather. Or if, Lord forbid, Walker sprains an ankle, which he seems to do at some point on every season, you at least you have Hunt back there. They drafted that kid this year from is it Emmett that they drafted from Nebraska, a running back I really like,
I
Emmett
think
Johnson, I
so.
believe.
I think so, that sounds familiar, yes. I wanna say yes.
Yeah, dynamic running back. I think he definitely will make a little noise in training camp. He brings, a good piece to the backfield. I don't see any world to where this ship doesn't get turned around quick. The biggest thing is, if I remember right, I think they opened the season against Denver, who took the division from them last year. So while I could never sit here and say, well, the first game of the season is a must win, because that's just stupid. You're going to play 16 more. If you lose it, you lose it. You got 16 more chances to
Mhm.
make things right. So I can't call it a must win, but that's a really important game. After Denver beat them last year, won the division, to have to start the season with Denver, you don't want to come off a year like last year, 0-1, and already down one game to a division opponent. So to me, while I won't sit here and say it's a must win, that is a very interesting game to start the season, and one that I think a lot of eyes are going to be on. And I think there's a lot more pressure on Kansas City in that game than there is on Denver.
It definitely is, and that's a Monday Night Football game. That's the first Monday Night Football game too, so you, right there in front of the world, the whole world watching Monday Night Football. That's a huge win. That's a huge game, man. Huge game.
Everybody watching. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, I'm not a doctor, and I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So I can't say medically if Pat is going to be ready to go week one. I've seen him, little videos. I know he's in camp. I know he's throwing around and stuff. If he's available for week one, great. Do you even really risk rushing him out there for week one? I don't know. That's up to Andy Reid and Mahomes, and
Yeah.
it seems like you'd kind of like to slow walk him, but then we go right back to the discussion we spent minutes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much work do you give Patrick? How much work do you give Patrick in the preseason coming off a blown leg? You don't want to put him out there at all. It's
Mhm.
earlier in the timeline. The doctor might not even tell you he's ready to go on the field at that point.
Mhm.
So then when you get to week one, what if the doctor says, well, physically, he's cleared to participate on the field now? Well, now, but he hasn't really gone through a real camp. He hasn't
Mhm.
gotten hit. He hasn't played any preseason. He hasn't
Mhm.
gone 100% on anything.
Mhm.
So now what do you do?
You just gonna throw him out
Do
there on
you
Monday
hold him
Night
out a week or
Football?
two and just make him go hard at practice? Do
Mm,
you just throw him out there week one because he's been pounding the table saying, "Put me in, coach"? Man, there's a lot of questions that have to be answered in Kansas City, and they all start week one on Monday Night Football against the Denver Broncos.
that is so true. That is so true. I always say I don't bet against Kansas City, but they're gonna have a lot on their plate responding after all the, things that set them back last season. They got a A lot of big decisions to make, but like I say, if everybody comes back healthy and everything, they're gonna be right back in the mix again. Because I always say, as long as you got number 15, 87, and Big Red Andy Reid, you're gonna win a lot of football games, man. You're gonna win a lot of football games with those guys.
I agree. And if I had to bet it right now, I would put my money on the Kansas City Chiefs winning the AFC West.
Yes.
I think Denver had a good year last year, no question about that. Bo Nix looks like he's working well in Sean Payton's system.
Mhm.
They added Waddle, which is a huge add for them.
Oh,
Waddle is
yeah.
such a different receiver than Sutton.
Mhm.
Uh, so I definitely think they're gonna be improved in Denver. I like what they've done in the offseason and their draft picks.
Mhm.
I think Kansas City will win the division. Denver is gonna have a first place schedule, which is not as easy as the schedule they had last year. It's just like the New England Patriots. They had kind of a cupcake schedule last year.
They
Well,
did.
then they go win the AFC East. Now they're going to have a first place schedule. Well, I can tell you as a Houston Texans fan, when we went from worst to first after we drafted CJ and we went worst to first in our division, and all of a sudden we drew a first place schedule the following season was tough. Now,
Mm.
yes, we did okay. We went back to the playoffs. We overcame it,
Mhm.
but there's a massive difference in the schedule of whether you're finishing third or fourth in your division or first. And a first place schedule for Denver means it's going to be harder this year than it was last year. And every team out there has got tape on Bo Nix and their offense. And I just I think it's going to be harder for Denver this year than people think. I think Kansas City wins the division back this year, and they're back in the playoffs. And how far they go, only Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes know. I don't know.
Hey, I'm with you there. I don't say people say what you want about Kansas City. When they all healthy and going full throttle, I don't bet against them guys, man. I do not bet against them at all.
You can't. Well, I
You
mean, you
really
can,
can. You
but for
can,
years,
but that's
for
foolish.
years, they've showed you it's not a good idea.
No, they keep proving you wrong every single time. But minus last season, anytime you think they were down and out, oh, they injuries here, injuries there, oh, they don't have Tyreek Hill no more. They some kind of find a way. They either in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, and they proving people wrong every single time, despite what people may think about them. Never
Yep, they
fails,
just
man.
find a way.
They
And
find
the
a
enemy
way.
coming back, I think, helps
I
the
like that.
offense.
I like that. That helps. That was a huge loss losing him because, like I said, when they were really booming, he was a big part of that offense. So yes, getting him back is going to be a major plus for them. I feel major plus.
100%. If you look at how the offense has fared statistically since he's been gone, nowhere near as dynamic,
No,
nowhere near as many deeper shots down the field.
mm-mm,
It's been more dink and dunk. It's been more run first, dink and dunk, short 4 or 5 yard passes. And I get it. You have to play to your roster, and when you
mm-hmm.
don't have Tyreek Hill, a lot of that deep stuff goes.
Yeah,
But I mean, let's be realistic. Worthy went out and ran a 4.2 at the combine and got
yeah,
drafted much higher than people thought he would get drafted because of
mm-hmm,
that speed.
mm-hmm.
So it's not like you don't have speed for a deep threat. And I
No, not at all.
guarantee you, Eric Bieniemy will find a way to get Xavier Worthy going deep downfield.
Oh yeah,
Tyquan Thornton's not slow either. He's
no,
not my favorite receiver, but he's not slow.
no.
Between him and Worthy, you can stretch the field in Kansas City without a doubt.
Definitely, most definitely, and EB will definitely take those shots down the field. I have no doubt about that. So that's like I said, that's probably his biggest move as Kansas City's made all offseason. Yeah, getting Walker at running back, that's great, but getting the EB back, Eric Bieniemy back, I think you're gonna see a big difference in that Kansas City offense. Big difference.
I agree. As big a deal as it was signing Walker, I think getting Eric Bieniemy back may have been the best move they made.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Let's talk about your Houston Texans. How you feeling about your Houston Texans, man? First off, that defense over there is nasty. I kept telling people all last season, man, that Houston Texans defense, man. Woo, y'all got some dogs on that defense, man. How you feeling about your Texans, man?
Look, the whole world can give me grief about CJ Stroud not living up to his potential to this point.
Mhm.
They can talk about how bad the offensive line has been. They can talk about how CJ was horrific in the playoffs. I will not dispute any of that. He has struggled. He had a great
Mhm.
rookie season. He
Mhm.
showed us he has a ton of potential,
Mhm.
but then we put him behind an offensive line that was made out of Swiss cheese for the
Mhm.
next couple of seasons, and he got his teeth kicked in.
Mhm.
And so people are saying, well, he looks a little gun shy.
You
Well,
think?
hell, I would be too.
Yes. I don't care
You
who
know,
you have at quarterback. I don't care if you have Mahomes,
as a
CJ,
Texans
Brady.
fan,
You need a line. You have to protect your quarterback, man. You have to protect your quarterback. You have to.
yes, and they have not done that at all up to this point. Our offensive line has been horrible every year that CJ's been there,
Mm.
and he's gotten killed. So, yes, he is gun shy.
Yeah,
And
of
as a
course.
Texans fan, I know what that can do to a quarterback. We took
David Carr.
David Carr
David Carr.
out
I
of
remember
Fresno
him.
State,
Mhm.
yeah, with our first pick in the year of our inception. The first year the Texans were playing in the NFL, we go and we draft David Carr, first pick in the draft out of Fresno State.
Mhm.
And we put a very talented quarterback behind a trash offensive line.
Mhm.
We had tried to do a couple of things, like they went out and I want to think they paid Tony Baselli a lot of money to come over from Jacksonville in the supplemental draft. But then he ended up being hurt and couldn't even play for us. So the left tackle we thought was going to protect Carr wasn't even there. The couple of other pieces we reached on, old veterans from other teams that just they weren't any good. David Carr got massacred back there.
Oh, yeah. I
Like,
remember
if you
that.
go look at the number of times he got hit, he got destroyed.
Mhm.
Well, go back and look. Year 2, watch the tape. He has happy feet. Still
Mhm.
getting killed back there because it's still a bad offensive line. Year 3, those feet get even happier. It's like being at a Diddy party. They're dancing. They're dancing.
Yeah, there you go.
The dude didn't have a snowball's chance in hell of developing into a good
Mm-mm.
quarterback in the situation we put him in.
Mhm.
So I say that to come back and say, until we put an offensive line in front of CJ Stroud, I cannot judge the man.
Mhm.
Yes, he was terrible in the playoffs. Yes, the interceptions against the both the Steelers and the Patriots were unacceptable. But I also know he's been his entire career up to this point behind an offensive line that they can't block anybody.
Mhm.
So until we put an offensive line in front of him, I'm not going to say he's not that guy. I'm not going to say he's not a franchise quarterback because I don't know. Until we
Mhm.
give him a fair chance to sit
Mhm.
back there and pick a defense apart, I don't know. So I think we've made the right moves this year. I like Wyatt Teller coming over from Cleveland. He's older, but he's nasty. He's got an
Mhm.
attitude. He likes to hurt people. We didn't have any of that.
Mhm.
You know, we had got I don't want to talk bad about our former left tackle because now he plays for your team.
Oh,
But
yeah. Larry. Mhm.
Mr. Tunsil is not I'm not saying he's not a good left tackle. He's an amazing pass blocker.
Mhm.
He's not a good run blocker, and he's never been nasty and aggressive.
Mhm.
Nobody we had on the line was nasty and aggressive. I think Teller helps a little bit with that as much as he can, but he's also older, so I don't know how much we'll get out of him. I
Mhm.
think Brandon Smith, who we signed from the Colts to play right tackle, very nasty, very scrappy, dog of a player.
Mhm.
I love that addition. Then we drafted that corn-fed boy, Keelan Rutledge out of
Mhm.
Georgia Tech, I think maybe.
Mhm.
To, I love him at guard, but it sounds like we're going to try to have him play center because we don't have a damn center that's worth a flip. I don't know if he can play center. I know he's a very good guard. I know he's nasty. He's physical. He loves to bury people. We're going to ask him to go from college to the NFL and play a new position. I don't think that's putting Keelan Rutledge in the best position to succeed. So at this point, I have to hope that boy is just a dog and that he can do it because we got to get some dogs up there in front of CJ. If we can protect him, I think we'll be fine. David Montgomery, I think, was a good ad from Detroit. Is he flashy? No, but you can count on him to go
Mhm.
north and south. You
Mhm.
can count on him to get 3 or 4 yards every play. If you get within the 3-yard line, it's almost impossible to keep him out of the end zone if he gets a couple of cracks at it. Last year, we had no chance to punch in anything from inside the 5-yard line.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Mhm.
Nothing. Nick Chubb didn't have the power in his legs anymore. Woody Marks is not a power back. Joe Mixon was living with whatever freak foot injury he had that caused him to miss an entire season. I don't know if he'll ever even play again. Montgomery will help us tremendously if that offensive line works. It all goes back to the same thing. Did we fix our offensive line? I think so. I hope so, but I don't know.
Yeah, man.
So
Like I
people can give me flack on the offense all day, and I'll eat it until we prove them wrong. On defense, can't nobody. I don't care what team you love. I don't care who's your favorite. There's nobody out there that can talk trash about my defense
hell
because
no,
our
man.
defense are a bunch of damn dogs.
Yes, they are. I think I said I was telling people that all the time. I said, "Man, them guys in Houston, man, they playing some nasty old school type of defense." I said, "Those guys are straight up dogs." I love watching them, man. Fun to watch.
Yes. I went to some of their uh training camp practices last year.
Oh,
Me and my
cool.
son, my oldest son, had gone,
Nice.
and we were watching. And it's like the defense will tell you, say, we've got a spot from about 4 yards in, past the line of scrimmage, like to about your linebacker depth.
Mhm.
Starts about the linebacker depth and then goes back to about 12 yards. So from about 4 yards to about 12 yards, our defense, every player on our defense calls it the kill zone.
Mhm.
Any other jersey in between that 4 yard out from the line and 12 yards out has got a bullseye on him, and their intent is to try to to end their football life for that particular Sunday. It's a
Mhm.
kill zone, and they're looking to take your head off. Aziz Al Shair, I know a lot of people call him dirty, call him whatever you want to. He is headhunting. There's no doubt about it. Petrie's headhunting.
Mhm.
Lassiter's headhunting.
Mhm.
Them boys, them boys want to hurt you outside of Stingley. Stingley just wants to break the pass up or intercept the ball. He's not really looking to hurt anybody. He just wants to stick to you like glue, cover corner, get as many interceptions as he can get. But that's fine because we got enough dudes. And you add somebody like Reed Blankenship, a veteran from the Eagles, to fill a safety spot that we thought we filled when we signed CJ Gardner Johnson, but that experiment failed miserably. We had nobody that could play that position, and it was a point of weakness in our defense that could be exploited. Reed Blankenship, I think, fills that spot perfectly. And he's got a little dog in him, and he don't mind hitting you, and he don't mind getting in your face and talking a little trash. I think he is a perfect fit to round out our secondary. I think the our biggest loss up to this point, I'd love to see us sign him back because I don't think he's signed yet. But we lost Barnett, who
Mhm.
was our top defensive end coming off the bench, and they love to rotate Will Anderson Jr. and Daniil Hunter. They love to rotate him, and now not having him at defensive end bothers me a little bit. I think we're weak in our defensive end depth, so I'm a little nervous about that. But we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. McDonald, the kid we drafted from Ohio State,
Mhm.
huge nose tackle that's a run stuffer. That was our defense's biggest weakness was we had trouble stopping the inside runs in between the tackles.
Mhm.
McDonald should help close that off. It was like the rich getting richer, man. We took that defense and we added McDonald from Ohio State and we added Reed Blankenship. And yeah, saddle up on Sundays, boys, because all hell's coming.
I believe it, man. I believe it. Like I say, if y'all can just get that O line intact and protect CJ with that defense that you guys got, y'all guys can go a long, long way. Cause y'all, like I said, y'all got some dogs on that defense, man. Just protect CJ, and y'all gonna be right there in the mix, man. Y'all gonna be right there.
Yeah, the offense doesn't even have to be great.
Yeah,
If
that's
we
you
could
know, I
just
was gonna
be
say that.
if we could just be just above average,
Above
if we could
average,
just be
yes.
above average with that defense, we've
Mhm.
got a legit chance to go deep in the deep, maybe the Super Bowl with just
Yeah,
an average offense.
yeah,
If if
exactly.
that O line works and CJ reminds us that he's actually good and we can actually be a good, not great, but a good offense, then yeah, we're a threat. We're a threat for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It reminds me of that Baltimore defense that they won that first Super Bowl. Like I said, that offense wasn't great. They had Trent Dilfer on their offense and everything, but that defense, man, was some dogs. With Ray Lewis and them boys over there, man, that first Super Bowl that they won, that's what you guys could be, man. Just like I say, just above average. That's all y'all have to be, just above average. With y'all's defense, man, y'all can go right to the Super Bowl. That's a Super
Yeah, and
Bowl
I'm not I'm
defense.
not trying to throw I'm not trying to throw strays at old Trent Dilfer, but the fact that he was able to win a Super Bowl tells you how good that damn defense in Baltimore was.
It
Because
really does, man.
I'm sorry, Trent. I know you're catching strays right now,
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry, man.
everything I'm saying is the God's honest truth.
It's the
He
truth,
was
man.
he was average on his good days. He was an
Yes,
average quarterback.
yes.
On his average days, he was a below average quarterback.
He was nothing to write home about at all. But the fact that that man has a Super
No.
Bowl ring, ring is like I say,
Yeah, oh,
that
yeah.
defense, that defense.
Look, he can stand up in front of his friends and point to that ring and say,
Hey,
"Marino don't have one.
yes,
Warren Moon don't have one." Yeah, I
hmm
mean
much better
yeah,
quarterbacks
but
than you don't have Super Bowl rings.
yeah. Well, all I'm going to tell him is while you're pointing at that ring, telling him that story, you
Uh,
better be reaching in your back pocket, pulling out your phone, and dialing up Ray Lewis and
yes.
Ed Reed and the rest of them and saying,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for giving me something that I could have never gotten on my own."
Mhm. Exactly, exactly. Gotta give that defense their props, man. Give that defense their props. Now let's talk about my squad. I wanna get your perspective on this as, outside obviously, I'm a big Commanders fan and everything, but going from great rookie season with Jaden Daniels in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles and everything, and then high expectations coming into the following season, and Jaden gets hurt, Terry's hurt, the defense is god awful. I mean, it's like night and day. How did you feel about the, Commanders last season taking that major step back, and what do you see for them going into this season?
It's beautiful when the stars line up and everything just aligns perfectly because
Mm,
this circles back right to where we started our conversation. Terry
mhm,
McLaurin missed all of training camp holding
mhm,
out, comes
mhm,
in, gets hurt.
mhm.
Dis- Disastrous for your
Yes,
squad
yes,
because look, I love McCaffrey and
yes,
he's a superstar. If it's Christian McCaffrey,
yes.
his little brother might
Uh-huh.
have the same name, but he is not the same player. And
No,
I'm not trying to throw strays to little
no, and he
McCaffrey,
played better and
but
everything, but
he's
he's
not.
not his brother. He is definitely not his brother. No way.
No, and he's not. You can't just say, well, Terry went down. We'll just have McCaffrey jump up and be wide receiver one or even wide receiver two.
No,
He's not at
he's
this
not
point
that.
in his career, he can't do it.
No.
Look, 4 years from now, maybe he develops into a good wide receiver two. I don't think he will. I think he'll be a wide receiver three, but I
Really?
don't
Yeah.
know. But right now, last year, especially, he was not ready to
No.
take that role.
No.
You know,
No.
you had a bunch of wide receiver threes on your team, and you're
Yes.
telling them you got to be wide receiver ones and wide receiver twos. And as hard as
Mhm.
they tried, bless their hearts, they just
It was
that's
no,
not what they are.
no,
It's
no,
not what they are.
no.
So now you got Jaden who has to try to run more, has to try to make more plays because the wide receivers can't get any separation. And the one guy that he could count on and Scary Terry is hurt.
Mhm,
And then what happens? Well, then Jaden gets hurt.
mhm.
Well, now you're counting on Marcus Mariota. Well,
Yeah.
look, I got a bunch of Polynesian friends. I got a bunch of ooses out there.
Mhm,
Me and Jacob Fatu have been friends for about 7 years. I got a bunch of my boys out there that I love.
mhm,
Marcus Mariota ain't one of them. I don't
mm.
care if he comes from the Big Island. He ain't gonna win you playoff games. He's not gonna take you to a Super Bowl. He's just not.
No.
So that puts you in a position to where now you're back to we have bigger problems. Not only do we not have our wide receiver, we don't have our quarterback. We've got to try to lean on our run game.
Mhm.
Well, you've got some guys at running back that are interesting. Like
Mhm.
I like Bill. I
I
like
like him too.
Merritt.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the RB1 in this league right now. Uh, Brian Robinson was dependable, but now he's gone to where's he,
Mhm.
Atlanta or someplace?
He was with San Francisco last year, but I think
Frisco,
now
he
he's in
went
Atlanta.
someplace.
Yeah, I think he's in Atlanta. I think you were right. You were in Atlanta. The ATL. Yeah, Atlanta.
So you've got a couple of guys. Now, I like the Katron. Didn't you? Was it Katron Allen y'all drafted this year from Penn State?
We did. Yes. Yes. You got him. Yeah.
I like him. I think that helps. I think that helps your backfield.
Mhm.
Um, I can't remember. I kind of want to think y'all signed somebody.
We
Oh,
signed
y'all
with
lost.
we signed
Y'all
Rashad
lost
White.
Rod. Yes, yes. I love the addition of Rashad White from Tampa Bay. I
Mhm.
think that will help you tremendously. And
Mhm.
then you don't have to ask Bill or Katron to do the things that you need White to do.
Mhm.
I think that helps you a bunch.
Mhm.
Man, honestly, as you know, Terry's coming back healthy. Jaden should be coming back healthy. You
Uh-huh.
added pieces of running back that I think make your running game better.
Mhm.
I think
Grab Sonny
I think
Styles.
y'all worked on. Yes, I think y'all worked on fixing your offensive line a little bit.
Mhm.
The biggest question is gonna be, how much does y'all help that defense? And I know y'all drafted a couple players that should help
Yeah.
from day one immediately.
Yeah. Sonny Styles, man.
So, I think and man, I love him. That dude is so good, so good.
Mhm. Mhm.
The question is just gonna be, how much can the how much can the pieces y'all added help?
Mhm.
And that's I think y'all will go as far as your defense
Yes.
can survive, I think.
Mhm. That's the big thing. And then we got the guy
But
from Kansas City too.
You should know more than me as far as all the pieces you added on defense and how much you do or don't believe you added enough or how much they'll help. What do you think as far as your defense this year compared to what you saw last year? Because last year, much like our offense, I openly said was bad. Your defense, you'd have to openly say it was bad.
Oh my god. I mean, they couldn't stop anybody. I mean, it was god awful. I mean, I've seen some bad defenses around here, but this was probably as bad as I've seen the defense. So we got Witt Jr., he's out no longer here. He's no longer the defensive coordinator. We got Devontae Jones, who worked with came from Minnesota. He's the new defensive coordinator. We, like I said, we added Sonny Styles, Leo Chanel from Kansas City. I think he's definitely gonna help and everything. I think
Leo's a nice addition.
yeah, he was a nice addition when we picked him up. Yeah, and I think it's about just staying healthy. We had so many guys going down with injuries. If we just get some healthy bodies out there on the field, that will make a huge, huge difference. You got all these guys that were not ready for the big moment and everything. So I just think about it just staying healthy. If we can just get some healthy bodies out there, the defense will be better. They don't have to be elite. They don't have to be your defense. But like I said, above average. You can't play like y'all did last season. Y'all can't just go up there and just be getting mollywopped by these teams, by the Kansas Cities, the Lions, and all them different ones that just came in here and just destroyed us. You can't expect to do that this year. So they it can only go up. It cannot get any worse. And like I say, and adding Sonny Styles, man, I'm excited to see him, man. I'm excited to see him out there with these guys, man, seeing what they can do. And also David Blau,
Yeah,
he's the offensive coordinator. He gonna be doing more. They say we're gonna be doing more stuff under center and everything. We have more Jaden Daniels up under center. I think that's gonna be a lot more play action type of stuff. So I'm excited to see how things play out, man. Like I say, if we can just get healthy bodies out there, that's gonna make a huge, huge difference. Just getting healthy bodies out there, man. Guys, you know you're gonna have injuries, but you can't have all your top receivers and just everybody just all across the board, all your key guys down with injuries. If we can just stay healthy, man, and just play just above average defense, we'll be a much better football team, man. A much better football team.
and I wanted to ask you about that because, like, I know about McLaurin. I know about Terry's McLaurin's injury and Jaden's injury. Did y'all also have injuries on defense to, players of note that caused some of that problem? I mean, like, will some of that get corrected this year just by being healthy?
I think so. Like I said, that's gonna be a major key. I think a lot of the like I said, that was one of the biggest issues I felt last year. Is I think getting a lot of the key guys back healthy with the additions of, like I said, Leo Chanel, Sonny Styles in the middle and everything, getting some better, Frankie Louvu, he was down too. A lot of our key defensive guys were down last year. So I think getting healthy bodies back will definitely make a huge difference with that, and see what Devontae Jones does with this defense as well. So I'm curious to see what he does. Like I said, coming from Minnesota and everything with Brian Flores and everything. If he brings that kind of Minnesota defense, any aspect
That
of
was a
that
nasty
Minnesota,
defense over there.
yeah, yeah. If he brings any of that to us this season, we will be a much better defense. A much better defense. Much better defense, man. Like I say, it can't
Yeah,
get any worse,
that
man.
defense in Minnesota was nasty.
Oh
That if
yeah. If he
y'all get
brings
to that
any
kind of
elements of
style,
that, yeah.
and one of the things that might give you reason to believe a little of that's coming because the pieces you added in Sonny Styles and Leo Chanel
Mhm.
at linebacker,
Mhm.
that's Minnesota has been part of the reason they've been so good is they've had a good edge or two, but their linebackers have been really good and they blitz a lot with their linebackers. They create a lot of havoc up in the pocket. So the fact that y'all added Chanel and Styles, maybe that tells you, yeah, we might be a little more leaning towards that aggressive, be a dog defense that they had in Minnesota, which could help you out a lot.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. Definitely, definitely. And also too, we added a safety, Nick Frost, and everything coming over from the Colts and everything. The pieces that they've added, I'm pleased with. So let's just seeing how we put them all together and just see, like I said, if we get anything close to that defense from Minnesota, man, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be because, like I said, that Brian Flores did a very good job of Minnesota with their defense. Very good job. So hopefully, if
I'm
we get
interested to
anything close
see
to that,
yes. I'm interested to see, Luvu with a healthy season because I think
yes,
as a prospect, I was high on him as a prospect. I think he's got a
yeah,
lot of
I
potential.
like him.
If
I
he
like
can
him a
come
lot,
back
man.
healthy,
Yes.
that's a real nice piece to add back too.
Yeah, I think our linebacker core is gonna be a lot better because we had Bobby Wagner. God bless him, but he's way past his prime. I mean, God bless him. I appreciate him, veteran and everything, Legion of Boom, but you could see him getting exposed out there too. You could see him, his best days, and it was sad to see because he's a legend. But no, well, I think we got much. I think another thing too, we've gotten a lot younger on the defense too. We got some younger, fresher bodies out there too. That's gonna make a difference as well.
A big difference, and you're right. It's the one team that's always gonna be undefeated, and that's Father Time. It
Yes,
doesn't
man.
matter how good you are, at some point, he catches everybody.
Oh yeah. Father Time is undefeated. I don't care who you are, how good a shape you're in. Father Time will catch you. Will catch the best of them.
Yeah, some may make it longer than others. They may outrun him a few more seasons than most do, but he's catching you. Everybody's getting caught. Doesn't
Oh,
matter how
look.
good you are. Whether
Oh
you're
yeah.
Michael Jordan, whether you're LeBron James, it doesn't matter. Everybody's getting caught.
Oh yeah,
And
man.
it's just Wagner, you could see. I mean,
Yeah, you can see
and
it.
the
You can see him
man's
getting exposed.
he's old and his body's
Yes.
been getting beat up for years.
And it was
And
sad seeing him out there sometimes, man. It's just so sad to see him out there just getting burned and torched like that. You're like, no, man, no.
yeah, his body can't do it. I'm sure
No.
his heart still is 100% in it, and he is probably one of the most cerebral linebackers and one of the most high football IQ players in the league, and you need that, and that's so beneficial to a defense, but you need that when you have a bunch of young talent around
Mm.
him that
Mhm.
he can kinda tell them what they need to do to go make the play happen. You
Mhm.
can't just expect Bobby to keep doing all the work. His body won't let him do it.
No. Not at all. Not at all, man. Like I said, the heart and everything was there, but you see him out there in some of them plays, man. You just you feel bad for the man. He's like, no, this is your best days are behind you, man. We appreciate the effort. We love you. We love your veteran leadership, but nah, man, we gotta get younger in that defense, man. We gotta get younger, younger, fresher bodies out there, and that's gonna be a big difference too. Healthy and having some younger guys out there on that field.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big difference between old Bobby Wagner and fresh out of the blocks Sonny Styles. It's gonna be a world of difference in what offenses can do in that area. Sonny's strong, he's fast, He's athletic. He's agile. He's a complete prospect. I like Sonny Styles, and I had Sonny ranked over Arvell Reese. And I know everybody they'll get on me for that one, but I get it. And they're all saying, "Oh, but we can turn Arvell Reese into this this edge rushing demon." Well, maybe, but he's not going to be that demon at the NFL level right out of the gate. He barely did it in college. It's going
Mhm.
to take time for him to learn that position, to learn the nuances, to develop as a player. To me, I would have just left Reese a linebacker because I think he'd have been an all pro linebacker every single year, and then maybe just slowly transition him to edge rusher, give him a little work here, a little work there, pick and choose when you played him there. That's the way I would have done him. But
Mhm.
Sonny Styles to me is just a lock in, set it and forget it linebacker that can play every down. You don't have to take him out. You don't have to worry about, well, is he going to get ripped apart in pass coverage? Will he be able to stop the run? The kid can do it all. Y'all got a superstar with that pick.
Yeah, he fell right into our laps, man. That's a great addition. Oh, and I forgot another guy, edge rusher we got him in free agency, Odafe Owe. We picked him up too. So that's a guy that's gonna help us
Oh,
with
I
the
like
edge.
Owen.
Yeah.
I like
I
Owen.
I forgot about him.
That gives
Yeah.
you definitely improves your edge position a
Yeah.
bunch.
Yes, yes, I forgot about him too. Yeah, we picked him up too in free agency. That was one of the first guys we signed in, free agency, now that I remember about it. So that's gonna help us
So
too.
y'all have added a nice piece at edge. Y'all have added 2 pieces at linebacker, plus you get y'all got Luvu playing linebacker?
He's still playing linebacker, yeah.
So if you count him coming back healthy, it's really 3 new additions at linebacker because he
Yeah,
wasn't healthy last year,
yeah.
and you added a piece on the edge. So, yeah, that's a good start for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, you gotta start somewhere,
And
man. You gotta be
none of them are old and slow and washed up
No,
either.
no, that's one of the beautiful things. I said we got a lot of the guys that we were signing and everything are young guys. We didn't sign any old veterans and everything. A lot of the guys we signed are like young and still in their prime and everything. So we got some young, fresh bodies that are gonna be out there on that defense. So I'm excited,
Hey,
man.
the
I'm
start of
excited.
every season, every fan has a ton of hope and a ton of hype for what they think their team is going to do. At least you and I both have reasons to have hope and hype. You added pieces on defense, we added pieces on the offensive line. So once again, they're going to sucker us in and tell us
Mhm.
we added the pieces we needed.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
now it's our year to put it
That
together and make it
ex
happen. So we'll
exactly.
see.
Now we gonna see
We'll
what
see
happens on
how it shakes
Sundays.
out.
See how it shakes out on Sundays, man. See
Yeah,
how it shakes out
yes,
on
sir.
Sundays. There we go, there we go. Another thing, but this is one of the most, like, crazy situations. I don't know what's going on with this situation. I'm getting sick and tired of this guy because he wants to come on our team. This whole Brandon Aiyuk situation. This has to be one of the I mean, I've been watching football a long time. You've been watching football a long time. I've never seen anything like this what's going on with this whole Brandon Aiyuk situation. Keeps talking about, wants to come here, play with the Commanders. Obviously, he has history playing with Jaden Daniels and everything, and he's just making all these crazy Instagram videos and everything, not cooperating. It's just a hot mess. I'm sick of this dude, man. What are your thoughts on this whole Brandon Ayuk situation?
Man, and before people freak out on me and say I'm crazy, let me explain why.
Explain yourself,
It
brother.
gives me it gives me Antonio Brown vibes.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you why. Antonio Brown was an elite talent on the
Oh,
football
amazing.
field.
A
Elite
problem.
talent.
Yes.
And he started off with what appeared to be his head in the game and playing the game and doing things the way you wanted them to be done. And he was effective on the field and he was not getting in trouble off the field. But then all of a sudden there started to be this decline in his personality and in his attitude. And
Mhm.
I don't know if fame and fortune got to him or his agent got to him or he's hanging around with people that he probably shouldn't have been hanging around with and his attitude changed. But Brandon Ayuk started off as a very talented football player. He was
Mhm.
electric on the football field. He wasn't getting in trouble. He was
Mhm.
with a team that was successful. He
Mhm.
was with an offense that was highly successful. He was an important part of that. And so then he starts having the trouble in Frisco. And okay, he wants more money. A lot of guys, we see that every year.
Oh, yeah, yeah, nothing unusual.
Starts complaining, starts wanting to sit out. You start questioning, is he really hurt or is he just not going to go put his body through that because they won't give him his money? Then just like AB, these crazy cryptic tweets start coming out
Mhm.
and these silly little social media messages and these little video clips and these little tirades on the sidelines and arguments with position coaches and stuff. And all these things start happening. And we saw that with AB. And then
Very
we
much
saw he
so,
ends
yeah.
up ripping his pads off and stripping down half naked and just firing himself basically and walking
Yeah.
off the football field.
Mhm.
Well, you went with Ayuk from saying, "I'm not happy here. I want out of here. I can live with that. Okay, you're not
Yeah,
happy there. You want out.
yeah,
No problem.
yeah.
I want to go play with my boy Jaden Daniels from
Mhm,
LSU. I want to reconnect with my team.
mhm.
No problem."
Yeah,
At first, even Jaden Daniels seemed to be loving hearing that. Seemed
yeah.
like he was interested
I
in
was
that.
in on it too. I said, "Hey, bring him on here."
But
Him and
then as
Scary
things
Terry.
started to crumble
Mhm.
and the cryptic stuff from Ayuk starts coming, and the videos that they're not cryptic, they're just a little crazy.
Yes.
And then all the little stunts he starts pulling and let's go drive 140 miles an hour down the road and let's do this and that. All this stuff starts happening and everything just starts crumbling apart. And he put himself in a position to where now the team he wants to the quarterback he wants to go to, is looking at him like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? And then
Mhm,
you got the quarterback happen to come out and say things to try to put Ayuk back in check a little bit. And what does Ayuk do? He just fires back at that same superstar face of the franchise quarterback on the team that he wants to go to. This dude is, when he walks around, his head probably sounds like a box of half empty marbles with just shit rolling around up there because nothing he's doing makes any sense. Any
mm.
sense.
It makes
He's self destructing his own path to
mhm,
go to a team that needs a wide receiver too, as much as any team in the league does,
mhm. Trust
and
me, I
to go
know.
to a quarterback that he's played with before, and to
Mhm,
go to a fan base that is hungry for another superstar.
mhm,
And you could pair him up with guys like Scary Terry and Jaden Daniels, and you drafted Styles, and you're trying to improve everything. The needle was looking up, and
mhm.
then all this stuff starts happening. And now the very team that he wants to go to, has to be sitting back looking at this all unfold, going, what the hell do we want to sign this guy for?
Exactly.
Why do we want to bring this guy into our locker room? Why do we want to put this guy in a position to disrupt everything we're trying to build if he wakes up one day and decides it's all Jaden Daniels' fault that he didn't get 18 targets last week?
Mhm.
And how can you expect that to go smoothly if you signed him today? You as a Washington fan, if you signed him today, could you look me in my eye and tell me, "Oh, I'm 100% confident this is gonna go smooth"?
No, no, not
No,
at all.
no,
I was
no,
all for wanting to. I was saying, "Hey, bring him in here, give him like a 1-year prove-it deal. Great, we need a number 2 receiver." But after all these antics and everything, all these social media posts and all this craziness, I want him nowhere on this team. I do not we don't need that drama. That's the old regime, but this is the new regime. We do not to go back to those crazy days of the Dan Snyder era. We don't need him to go back to that. We don't we
no,
don't we
you've
don't
been
need this
there.
guy on our team.
You've
We don't
been
need
there,
this guy.
done that. It
Been
wasn't
there, done
fun.
that. Exactly, and we do not need this guy on our team like this. I take my
No,
chances signing Mhm.
if I'm the offensive coordinator for your Commanders, I'm going straight into my head coach's office and my owner's office and saying, "Look, can we please restructure a couple of contracts and just go pay Stephon Diggs
I was just
whatever we
going to
need to
say,
pay him to get him here,
yes.
or just go pay, you know, somebody, do something.
Anybody,
Let's
anybody.
not go." Let's
Anybody
not
but this
jump on
guy.
the Brandon Aiyuk train
No.
because I got a feeling the Brandon Aiyuk train is going to run off the rails and it's going to be a nasty crash when it finally hits rock bottom.
Yeah, because this is absolute madness, and the more posts he makes, the more times that he opens his mouth, he's not helping his case at all, saying he doesn't wanna do business with the 49ers, and I think he's on, like, the exempt list. I think he has to apply for reinstatement and everything, and he's like he doesn't wanna do that, so they can't even the 49ers just sitting back saying, "Hey, we don't have to do anything with this guy. He doesn't wanna apply for reinstatement or anything like that, but he just wanna continue to act crazy on social media on these Instagram posts. Let him do that." But at this point, I want him nowhere near my team. We do not need that headache on our team right now. No. I'm sorry.
And that just shows the level of ignorance that Brandon Ayuk is operating with right now. I'm not
Yeah,
going to sit here and say he's ignorant because he might
no.
be being told to do this by an agent. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the level of ignorance that he is operating under right now is through the roof. And somebody needs to remind him, like his agent would probably be the first choice.
And I think he fired his
Somebody
agent
should
too.
remind him
I
that
think he fired his agent.
they
He
have
didn't have
you
an agent.
under contract. You
Mhm.
can't leave.
You can't
You
do that.
can't just say, "I'm going to commit." It doesn't work that way.
No.
In San Francisco, if John Lynch decides he just wants to be petty, he doesn't have to cut that kid loose. He
No.
can make him just sit there and pout and keep throwing videos online that destroy any chance of him playing for any team in this league.
Mhm. Yeah, man, it's just crazy, man. It's just like I said, the more he opens his mouth, the more he's just, like I say, the self-destruction is just continuing. It's to the point that it's sad, man. It's just sad. I went from like, okay,
It's
let's bring this guy
madness.
in. It's sad and it's madness, man. He's just like he's self-destructing before our eyes. He's self-destructing before
It's
our
like
eyes.
the it's like the intelligent, really smart scientist that's been trying to help create stuff with the superheroes all of a sudden snaps and now he's the supervillain and he's trying to do everything in his power to corrupt anything good and normal and productive and he's just trying to destroy everything. That's exactly what Brandon Ayuk is doing. The kid is destroying everything and it's himself that he's destroying. It's nobody else. It's
No,
just himself.
it is.
Nobody's looking at the 49ers like, man, they're doing this stupid. No, everybody's looking at Ayuk like, the hell's
Mhm.
wrong with this guy? This guy's
Exactly.
nuts.
Mhm. It's everybody else's fault. It's the 49ers' fault, it's John Lynch's fault, it's Kyle Shanahan's fault. Everybody else's fault but Brandon Aiyuk's fault. Everybody else, he was getting mad at Jaden Daniels and everything. I mean, it's crazy. Everybody else is at fault but him.
Yeah, it's not. He's talking himself and acting himself right out of a job in the NFL.
He
I don't.
is.
There's no. If I was an owner, there's no way. If my OC came to me and said, "Hey, we can work out a deal with the Niners and we can get Brandon Ayuk,"
Nope.
I would seriously have to look myself in the mirror and go, "Why the hell did I hire this guy as my offensive coordinator?" Because if he thinks it's a good idea to bring Brandon Ayuk into this football team, he's probably not nearly as smart as I thought he was when I hired him.
No.
I would have to question my own actions. Nobody out there could legitimately, with a straight face, go ask their general manager to bring in Brandon Ayuk to help their football team. Nobody.
No.
That dude right now would be the biggest cancer on the planet right now.
Yeah. Before all these antics and everything, sure, bring him in on a one-year deal, see what he's got. Cool, no problem. But after all these antics and everything, why would any team on the league want to bring that drama to their team? Why would you want to do that? I don't care how talented he
And
is. It's not worth it.
if that's if he's still talented. It's
That's
not
the
like
thing.
he's coming off a 1,500-yard, 12 touchdown season. The dude was hurt. He couldn't play all
He ain't
year,
played in like
and
2
he's acting
years.
like he's coming off a Pro Bowl year.
He hasn't played in 2 years, man. He's coming off that major injury and everything. He ain't played in like 2 years, man. About 2 years since he's played. That's a long time in the NFL, man.
Yeah, right now that dude should be willing to take a basically not necessarily a veteran minimum, but he should be willing to take a lower offer, prove it deal one
Yeah.
year, come show us that physically you're healthy,
Mhm.
mentally you're
You're
stable,
yes.
and you can still perform on the football field and still be a productive teammate in the locker room. And some team would happily then, after that year, if he did that, extend him with a much higher contract. But
Mhm.
no, he
Talking
thinks he should just run out there and get crazy money, even though he hadn't played ball in 2 years, and
mhm.
he's acting like a 7-year-old throwing a tantrum every time he gets online.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm so sick of this guy, man. I am every time I turn around, Brandon Aiyuk this, Brandon Aiyuk that. I'm like, no. Like I said, I'll take my chance. Let's get Stephon Diggs in. If you want to bring in another receiver, go sign Stephon Diggs. I take my chances with him at this point, or anybody. But him,
Hey,
no.
when we signed Diggs with the Texans, he started off doing just fine for us. No attitude, no problems. He
Mhm,
was productive on the football field. He
mhm.
gets hurt. Okay, not his fault.
Yeah,
He got hurt. So the next year we let him walk. He goes to New England. I thought he did just fine
he
last
did
year with Drake
beautiful.
May. The
Yeah,
Patriots did pretty damn well, I think.
yeah, absolutely.
Let's say they lost in the Super Bowl to the
Super
Seahawks.
Bowl. Yeah,
I'd
exactly.
say
That's a pretty
successful
damn good
mission.
season. That's a pretty damn good season, man.
Yeah. So it's not hard to say, oh, it's worth a dice roll on Stephon Diggs. He was
Absolutely.
productive last year. He came back off the injury that he had with Houston and showed that he could still play. He didn't give any problems to Vrabel. He didn't give any problems to the young quarterback, Drake May, which
Uh-huh.
I'm sure, as a young quarterback, there are plenty of things Diggs could have got in his ass about. But
Mhm.
there wasn't any, public issue, blown up drama with him last year. There was none
No,
with him the year he was with us.
no.
I would way, way rather pay Diggs to come in and help
Mhm.
me as a wide receiver too, and pay him more money than I
Yeah,
would be willing. I would not even consider Ayuk at this
at
point.
this point,
He's
no.
ruined any chance of that.
Yeah, he definitely has, Diggs, he's a local guy, he went to Maryland, he went to my Maryland Terps and everything, he's a local guy. He'd be perfect here, man. Like I say, him and Scary Terry, man, that'd be a problem, man. That would be a
That
problem.
legit. That would legit be a problem.
Yes, yes, but yeah, Diggs, yes, Ayuk, no. Plain and simple, man. Plain
I
and
agree.
simple, yeah. Couple more things before we wind down here. Another crazy thing that happened this offseason, this whole thing with Max Crosby. The Ravens traded for him, traded 2 first-round picks to get Max Crosby. Like, okay, great addition to that defense. Goes over there, something's not right with his medical and everything, and the whole trade is blown off. That was a crazy situation too. I'm like, how did you not figure out, what was going on with him? You're giving up 2 first because you're not no team is just giving up 2 first-round picks if they're not 100% sure about who they're trading for. How do you feel about how this whole Max Crosby situation played out?
Man, tell me if I'm crazy, but to me, it gave me that big flashing sign up in the air that's read buyer's remorse.
Mhm.
It's almost like they made the trade, and then it's like the owner or the GM or whoever sat down and realized we just gave up 2 first round picks in a draft that everybody's saying is going to be loaded. I just I can't buy the fact that they didn't know they had the ability to get when the trade was done. They had the ability to get all his medicals from the
Mhm.
Raiders. They would have already seen They would have already seen his knee. They already know about his
Yeah,
knee. His knee's been public knowledge.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and you and I know about his knee, and we don't
Yeah.
work in the NFL. So
No,
Lord
we don't.
knows
We just
they
fans,
know
man.
they know a lot more than we do. So
Absolutely.
they knew that already. So you make the trade. It's almost like they made the trade. It's almost like the general manager might have been sipping some high dollar McClellan or something,
Mhm,
and maybe he had a little buzz, or maybe he just thought I got a good idea. And it's almost like he did it and then regretted doing it and said,
mhm.
"Oh, I shouldn't have done this.
Uh-huh.
I gave up too much." Or somebody got in his ear and said, "Are you crazy? You gave up that much for Matt Crosby at this age with that knee?" It's
Mhm,
almost like he regretted making the trade and
mhm.
just had to find a way out of it. That's what it felt like to me. Because there ain't no way you're going to convince me they didn't already know about Max's knee before he ever got there. I'll never believe that's a true statement.
Same. I'm like, you all the ways you can do research and stuff now these days and everything. Wow, and you like I say, and to give up 2 first-round picks, you're not just giving up that's 2 first-round picks. That could be 2 very valuable picks. How do you make this move and not know about his knee, like the health of his knee? Like I said, we know as fans, y'all are in the NFL. You think to tell me you can't do the research and figure out, okay, his knee is good. His knee's not so good, but he's not gonna be, ready to start the season and everything. How do you not know all of that? Like I said, I think it was a huge like buyer's remorse. We got him like, oh man, we give up 2 first-round picks. So I don't know. Let's back out of this trade. It seems weird to me. And I still think there's more behind that story that we just don't know. Because I'm saying, like, how do y'all not be able to do the proper research to figure out the severity of that knee injury? I think if we can figure it out as fast, how y'all working in the NFL on the teams, how could y'all not get the information from the Raiders about, y'all feel confident enough to make this trade, and all of a sudden he gets there, and then y'all just say, "Oh well, we backing out of this." It's that, and that rubbed me the wrong way, man. It just something felt just extremely off about that move. Something felt very off by that.
Yeah, and even the timing on it. The
Yes.
timing on he comes in and he does the MRI and stuff.
Hmm.
Well, as soon as that this it's not like you went up to your local hospital and got an MRI and you gotta wait for everybody's stuff to be read. They did the MRI, they have a doctor right there on staff in the building that's reading it immediately right after he's done it, probably sitting there reading it while they're doing it. He knew right then any and everything he would have known 3 days later. He
Hmm.
knew right then what the knee looked like. So if he's doing the MRI and the doctor is seeing it and he sees something that's so bad that he says, "Oh, we can't do this. This knee will never hold up." Why was it not killed right there on the spot, right after the MRI? Why did it wait multiple days later before they came out and said, "Oh, failed the physical, we're rescinding the trade"? The timeline on that doesn't make sense.
No.
That's there's something fishy going on down there in Baltimore. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. That's exactly what I said as well. Something is very fishy about that. And he was on his podcast talking about it too. Said when he got in town and everything, they didn't send any like, bus or nothing for him. He had to travel on his own. He met the general manager and everything there. He said when he met them, something felt off right away as soon as he got to the building. There's just something very fishy and screwy about that whole situation. Like I say, one of these days, I'm guaranteed we're gonna see a 30 for 30 or something about what really went down for that situation. Because I guarantee there's a lot more to that situation that we just don't know about.
Yeah, there's somebody that's on that staff that knows what really happened, that
Mhm.
maybe they can't say nothing right now
Yeah,
because they're still employed by that staff, and that'd be
yeah.
a death warrant to your job.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
But once that person is no longer in that building,
yeah.
things are gonna start to come out and
Oh, yeah,
stories are gonna start to get told. So at some
absolutely.
point we'll know something.
Yeah.
But until then, I don't know what it was, but I something 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 squirrely went down. That's just the way that all unfolded. That I don't buy it. There's way more to the story than we know, and at some point, I'll be happy to watch the 30 for 30 and learn what it is because I want to know,
I
but
wanna know
I
too.
don't know at this
Yeah.
point.
And we'll
But I
come back on
want to
this
know
and we'll come back on this
because it's
podcast and talk about it
there's
when it
no
does come
way.
out.
You said it. You said it perfectly. You said it perfectly yourself when you said there's no way a general manager is about to trade away two first round picks.
No.
When first round picks are so valuable, you get the 5th year option on both players. So you know you have control for at least 5 years.
Mhm.
It's first round talent, the potential to draft 2 starting players and have control of them for the next 5 years, and their draft position, their one pick was high enough that it would have been. We saw how the draft unfolded. They would have got a really good player with that first pick, and
Oh, yeah.
they would have got a starter their second pick.
Mhm.
So you're not going into a trade willing to give up that much capital without having done a ton of homework on the player. So I'll never buy into, oh, they just didn't know when he got in, they found out. Yeah, I call BS on that one.
Oh, big time, man. Big time. And then check this out. Then soon after that goes down, They turn around and they sign Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year, $112 million deal, and I'm not saying why the if that's who y'all really wanted, he was a free agent, why did y'all just sign him from the beginning and just keep your first round picks? Why do the whole thing with Max Crosby, give up those picks and everything, renege on the picks, and then go on and sign Trey Hendrickson? If y'all should have just signed him from the jump because he was a free agent. You wouldn't have to trade or anything. You just signed him and kept your first round picks. So yeah, there's something very, very screwy about that, man. Something is extremely off.
And that's why
Literally after that they made that move. They signed Trey like days afterwards.
And that's why I think it's buyer's remorse. I
Yeah.
think they made the trade, and I think somebody in that facility with enough stroke said, "What the hell are you doing?
Mhm.
We can just sign Trey Hendrickson and
Mhm.
pay him about the same or close around the same amount of money we're going to have to be paying Max
Mhm.
and still have 2 first-round draft picks. Why would we
Exactly.
trade these 2 draft picks to get Crosby? That doesn't make sense when we can just sign Trey and still have 2 first-round picks." That's why I think it's buyer's remorse. The way everything
Okay.
lines up in the timeline, it's like they made the deal and somebody that was smart, in my opinion, said, "Well, that was stupid. You should have
Mhm.
just signed this guy from Cincinnati, take somebody from our own division, take him away, and still have 2 first-round picks." That's one of the key factors that makes me think it was just buyer's remorse. I think they made the deal and somebody convinced them that they effed up. And so they said, "Well, how do we fix it?" "Well, say his knee's too bad. He can't pass a physical." Then we
Mhm.
rescind the trade, and then we keep our first round picks and we'll just go sign Trey Henderson.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's something fishy around that coastal town.
Oh, yeah, man. As soon as that
They
came
doing more
out.
than crabbing out there.
Oh, you trust me, man. Trust me, man. They definitely doing more than crabbing out there, man. And that's just a cold, crabby situation, man. But like I say, there'll definitely be more to that. Like I say, down the line, maybe 5, 10 years. Who knows? Maybe even sooner than that. You never know. Whoever was in that organization, maybe if, like I said, they get released from their job and everything, the story's gonna come out. We're gonna get the real truth, what really went down with that situation, man.
Yep.
And we'll be here to talk about it.
Yeah, sure will.
Absolutely,
Sure
man.
will.
Absolutely, man. Like I said, a couple more things before we wind things down here. Miles Garrett to the
You
Rams.
take all the time you need, man.
Yeah, man. Miles Garrett to the Rams, man. How do you feel about that? Finally getting out of Cleveland, finally getting on a real contending team, man, and the possibility of Aaron Donald possibly coming out of retirement too. If he comes out of retirement, you got those two on your defense, man, that's gonna be a serious problem. But Miles Garrett, man, to the Rams. What are your thoughts, man?
I think it was an amazing move by McVay and the Rams and their general manager. I get they had to give up Burst, who I love
Yeah.
Burst.
Yeah, Russ is good. Yeah.
I love Burst, and he's young. He's got plenty of years, but man, Miles Garrett is Miles Garrett,
Miles Garrett,
and
man.
to add him to the team, it changes everything. Defenses have to focus on him.
Mhm.
There is no one-on-one with Miles Garrett. He takes up 2 players every time,
Mhm.
and even though they lost Jared Verse, who I do love, and I think Cleveland got a good edge rusher out of Verse,
Mhm.
the Rams still have a very talented, very young defensive line
Oh, yeah.
with Miles.
Mhm.
They've got 2 or 3 defensive tackles that they rotate in and out, all good. They've got another edge over there outside opposite Verse, well, now opposite Garrett, that's good. On top of that, they made the trade to add McDuffie at cornerback. The
Oh,
Rams
yeah.
are about to be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
The Rams are about to be a problem. And I'll go as far as saying I think it's already a done deal. And I think Aaron does come back. I
I think
think he
so
may be
too.
limited. He may only play like 15 or 20 snaps a game or something. They may have a plan to
Mhm.
kind of slow play it. He may
Snap
not
count.
even play the whole year.
No.
He may just come in and play like the last half of the season and the postseason, so his body is still relatively fresh,
Mhm.
and probably just play limited snaps
Yeah.
during the regular season.
Mhm.
And in the postseason, they may just unleash the beast. And now you got to deal with Aaron Donald and Miles Garrett and Trent McDuffie and the rest of that little young defensive line they've got. and they've got a little help that they added at safety, and the Rams are gonna be a problem,
Oh, yeah.
a real problem. I'm glad I wouldn't wanna be an NFC team if that played out the way we think it's gonna play out. I don't wanna have to look up at my postseason schedule and see that I'm going to play the Rams with Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald and Trent McDuffie and Sean McVay's offense with Matt Stafford and Puka and Devontae and Kyron and Blake Corum. Corum, who I've been watching off-season workout videos on, that dude is like otherworldly. If you haven't seen his workout videos online, go pull them up and watch them. Kyron Williams might lose his job this year, and Kyron's had a couple of great years back to back. But if you look, Blake seems to get a little more work each year, a little more work. Man, go watch his workout videos this offseason. Blake is coming. He is coming for the RB1 spot. I don't know if he'll get it, but he is coming. He looks insane, the things he's doing in his workouts. Insane. That 1-2 punch of running back with the cerebral assassin that is Matt Stafford and Puka and Devontae. Oh my Lord. To have to deal with that offense and that defense with Garrett and Donald and all them that's too much.
I know, man.
That's too that's like somebody telling you, oh, the Houston Texans just went out and signed 4 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. Oh shit. Well, now you have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you told me the Texans went out and signed 4 Pro Bowl offensive linemen, and CJ's gonna be able to sit back there and have a picnic, and our defense is that you're in trouble. The world is in trouble. Well, if they get Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald on that defense, the NFC is in trouble.
Yes. And we have to play them this year too. We play them coming off the bye. We can play Philly on Sunday Night Football, and then November 8th, we play the Rams. I'm like, damn. I'm like, come on.
Well, it better be a really good point spread, or else I ain't
It
betting on
better
you.
be. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. It would have been a tough game without the addition of Miles, Miles Garrett. Then you add him with the potential of Donald coming back too. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Like, jeez. We already got a tough
Yeah,
schedule as it
Miles.
is. That's crazy, man. Craziness.
Not only is Myles Garrett like, he's a physical freak. You see him
Oh yeah.
when he takes his shirt off, he's like it looks like he's chiseled out of granite. I mean, he's got the just body of a god. You
Mhm.
can tell he's strong as an ox,
Mhm.
except the dude is also insanely athletic and
Mhm.
incredibly fast.
Mhm.
He'll like Jaden Daniels is fast. Jaden Daniels can outrun most defensive ends that are pursuing him.
Mhm.
I don't know. He may outrun Miles some of the time, but he ain't gonna outrun Miles every time.
No.
That dude is a problem.
He is, man. He's a serious, serious problem, man. So, like I said, the Rams were already a solid team. Now you add him to the mix, like they just gonna be that much better of a football team. They're just gonna be that much
Yeah.
better.
If Donald announces that he's coming back, even if he said I'm coming back for the last half of the season, or my body won't be ready to play until midway through the season, dude, the Rams they should be the favorite in the NFC to go and win the Super Bowl.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. They already showed some videos of him like working out there at the facility and everything. He still looks like he's in phenomenal shape. So whatever point that he comes back, if he decides to come back, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a serious 1-2 punch that people have to deal with. Wherever point, so where the beginning of the season, later on in the season, back end of the season, that's gonna be a serious problem for the NFC. That's gonna be a problem. Straight up.
Yeah, 100%. And the better you make that defense, the more that offense is allowed to run free.
Oh yeah. They're
I
playing with
mean,
house, they be playing with
the
house
the the
money, man.
Rams the Rams already had a good defense. Even
Yeah.
when before Miles got there and reversed
Oh
with it,
yeah.
they already had a good defense.
Yeah.
Now you made it better by adding Miles. You added better by adding McDuffie because their weakness was their secondary, and they've
Mhm.
addressed that in a couple spots, if I remember correctly. I think they might have added a safety from Kansas City also. Uh, but they've added, and then if Aaron comes back too, that freak defensive tackle,
Man,
jeez Louise,
that's
that
craziness. That's not even
They're going to
fair.
shut people down to where Stafford isn't going to have to do much. And that's
No.
when he's the most dangerous.
Yes.
When he knows, well, I can score 17 points, 20 points, and we can win this game every week in, week out. When he knows that, that's when he's dangerous because he knows he can go score 17 points in a quarter if he needs to.
Yeah.
So now you're telling the guy you've got a defense that's going to hold most every offense to 20 or under, like the Texans do. Yeah, give Stafford that situation and see what happens. That dude will run. He'll roll free because he knows. Oh, if I make a mistake in the first quarter, it doesn't matter. I got
Yeah.
3 more quarters.
I got 3
And I
more
got that
quarters.
defense.
I got
If
that
I throw a
defense.
pick, it doesn't matter. I'll just tell my defense I need him to give me the ball back. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that.
Uh,
You'll see. You're liable. I won't even say liable. We are likely to see Stafford's best year ever this year with that defense, as long as he's healthy, and his back is not selling him out. As long as he's healthy, we may see the best version of Matthew Stafford that we've seen his entire career with a defense like that. He's
uh,
never had that kind of defense.
no. No, he has not had that type of defense. So with the receivers and running game and everything, yeah, man, we could see the best Stafford we've seen his entire career. If he like you said,
And that's saying something
that's
because
it.
even
No,
in Detroit
yeah, he
was a
did
bad
have
team, but the quarterback was good.
Yeah, he wasn't the issue. Him and Megatron, man. Oh man. Just as long as that back holds up, they're gonna be right there, man. They're gonna be right there in the mix.
Yep. And that's their biggest concern because, like, if they got to turn and say it's Ty Simpson or who the hell's the other quarterback they've got? I didn't like him either. They're not going to do it again. It won't work.
No,
Ty
no,
Simpson.
no.
Ty Simpson. To me that was the Rams' biggest mistake was whatever knucklehead inside that draft room that had enough power to say, "Oh no, because of Matt's age, we need to take our quarterback right now. We'll take Ty Simpson." I don't believe in Ty Simpson as much as everybody else believes in
No,
Ty Simpson.
no.
I don't think he's that good.
Mhm.
I think you could have added a piece, whether where they picked the people that were still on the board. You still had Kenyon Sadiq, that freak athletic tight end was still on the board.
Mm,
I want to think there was still one of the wide receivers, one of the elite wide
I think
receivers was still
so,
on the
yeah.
board.
There was still better options, yeah.
Yes. And you could have okay, you had top safeties and cornerbacks that were still on the board. If you're worried about the defense, you could have added another piece on defense. And you and me at this point could have been saying, well, they added Miles Garrett and McDuffie and this first round draft pick at cornerback to go with McDuffie, or this first round edge to go opposite, or this first round safety. Yeah, they could have done a lot with that pick. Ty Simpson, I don't think that was the best use of the value, but that's just my opinion. I'm not a Ty Simpson guy.
Yeah, if they wanna take a quarterback in the later rounds, okay, but that point, you could have taken somebody that could have made an immediate impact now, either on the offensive
Yes.
or defensive side of the ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Stetson Bennett. That's who the other quarterback there is.
Oh,
It's
yeah, Bennett. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Stetson Bennett
Bennett, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
Ty Simpson.
I
Ain't
Simpson, yeah.
neither one of them two are taking you nowhere.
No, not
They
at
might
all,
t-
man.
they might take your daughter to the prom. They're
But
little
that's a
cute little guys.
but that's about it.
They might show up in their Prius for their prom day, but they're not taking you to a Super Bowl.
They're not gonna win you no football games. No, not no, no, no,
Mm-mm.
no. You coulda did a much better you coulda got a much more impactful player. Somebody could help you immediately with that pick. So, hey.
Yes, and I get it. Stafford's old. He probably
Yeah,
only has a year or 2 left
yeah,
probably.
I get that
So
one.
I understand the need
Yeah,
for a quarterback,
yeah.
but, shit. Take one. Oh, I shouldn't be cussing on your podcast. Take one in the second round or the third round. Roll the dice on Carson Beck or Garrett Nussmeier, and then roll the dice again next year in the second
Mhm.
or third round. And do what you need to do to get a free agent that wants to go to a team that has a history of winning, not losing. There's other ways to fill the void.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think it was a waste. It was a wasted asset that they could have used on somebody that could help them right now. And they did not do that.
No, they definitely did not. Totally missed opportunity. Totally missed opportunity. All right, last thing here. Any predictions for the upcoming season? We talked a little bit about some of the teams and throughout the course of this episode and everything, but you got any predictions for this upcoming season? Anything you're looking forward to? Any teams you think gonna stand out? Any players you think gonna stand out? Just any predictions for this upcoming season? What you looking forward to seeing this season?
I think there's a few things that'll surprise a lot of the fans. I think, like we talked about with Denver, I think the same can be said about New England. With them having the first place schedule, the schedule is going to be a lot harder. There's going to be an entire year's worth of tape out on Drake May.
Mhm.
I think the second year is going to be more difficult for them than they expect it to be. I think everybody's just assuming that they'll be strong in that division. Maybe they will, but I I think they're going to struggle more than people believe. I
Mhm.
like what Buffalo did with the additions they did in the offseason. Uh, I know everybody trashes the Jets, and I get it. They were horrendous. They've been bad to watch for a long time. It seems like that's where quarterbacks go to die. Any quarterback that goes there seems to struggle.
Pretty much, yep.
But I truly believe Gino, although he's been there before when he was younger, I believe he is by far better than the majority of the quarterbacks they've had the past decade or so.
Oh, yes,
I
yes.
think at least he'll bring some stability.
There you go,
I know he had a
stability.
terrible year. He had a terrible year last year with the Raiders, but if you look, the Raiders were a terrible
They
team.
were
Let's be real
awful. They
honest.
were god
They
awful.
were a
Yeah,
terrible team.
yeah,
They stunk.
yeah.
If you go back and just look, it's a guy that typically throws for 3,500 to 4,000 yards. He normally puts up, legitimate NFL QB1 numbers in the league.
Mhm.
I think he brings some better leadership and some stability. I think the Jets did a really good job of drafting some high quality talent, and they had a lot of picks, and they made some trades to acquire more picks. I think the Jets are going to be better than people think. I'm not about to jump on a soapbox that says they're going from worst to first kind of thing, but
Mhm.
I think they're going to be better than people think. Um, the Giants, I think, made a lot of the right moves. I think New York fans in general are going to be happy. I love the addition of Harbaugh. I think he's a
Yeah.
very good
Oh, no.
coach.
Yes. Love
I
that.
think he will. I think he will help bring the proper mentality and the proper leadership in there with a bunch of young studs
Mhm.
that are trying to lead that team
Mhm.
on both sides of the ball. They've got a bunch of young guys. I think he's a great glue to cement that all together.
Mhm.
So I'm excited, even though I'm not a fan of either one of those teams. I'm
Mhm.
excited for both of their fan bases because I
Yeah.
think they made the proper moves in the offseason to improve their teams.
Mhm. Mhm. I'm with you there.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens in the NFC North. All four teams. I think the fans of all four of those teams, there are things they can stand on to say we're good and we can be better and we made good moves. The Bears did really well last year. There's reason for Packer fans to believe they're going to be better this year. There's reasons for Vikings fans, even though Kyler Murray, his career has kind of been a roller coaster, he's way better than the quarterback play they had last year.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got a lot better chance of getting the ball to Justin Jefferson
Mhm.
than they had last year. They've still got Addison as wide receiver 2. They added
Yeah.
that kid from the 40, I don't say kid, the man from the 49ers, Jennings, I think,
Oh,
makes
yeah,
a
they did. Yes.
really, really solid
Yes,
wide
they did.
receiver 3.
Yep.
He'd be a
Mhm.
wide receiver 2 on a whole lot of teams.
Mhm.
And then you got Detroit, who is always has the potential to be a dangerous team and a good team. It's going to be really interesting watching that entire division play out because I don't really know for sure who's going to be the best team in that division. I don't really know.
No, that's a toss up, man, to be honest with you.
It's tough when you look at it and you look at the moves that each team has made and you think they've actually made moves to try to improve their team, or you can see the path or the plan that they have to try to be better.
Mhm.
excuse me, it just makes it makes it difficult to pick.
Yeah.
I think most people are going to lean Chicago as the best team in that division, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be that easy.
No.
I think the Vikings are going to be improved, and the Lions are going to be improved, and the Packers, if Parsons is healthy, they should be improved.
Mhm.
Assuming Josh Jacobs, nothing comes out of that whole Josh Jacobs mess.
Oh, yeah.
If something were to happen with Josh, criminally wise, they're really, really weak at RB2, so
Yeah,
that they'd be in trouble at that point. They would need to probably trade for somebody.
definitely, definitely.
But I can, I can see where all those teams have tried to put themselves in a position to be better. I think it's going to be a really tough conference. I think the NFC West with the Rams and the Niners and the Seahawks and
Mhm.
well, not the Cardinals. They're not gonna
No,
bother anybody. They're gonna probably gonna
no.
be the doormat. They're gonna be
Pretty
the
much.
doormat of the NFL this year. But you
Yeah.
still have 3 teams in there that are really competitive that should be better. The NFC South, I don't know, it should be. In my head, on paper, everything tells me Tampa Bay should run away with that division, but my head has told me that the last 3 or 4 years, and it's a dogfight for that division every single year,
Mhm.
whether it's the Saints, who definitely seem to be improved, the Falcons, which I don't know, they've made some changes. They should be improved, I think. There's a lot going on in that division. The Carolina, they've made moves.
Yeah,
That's a tough division to call too. On paper,
yeah.
when I look at it, it feels like Baker and the Bucks should run away with it every year, and they never do.
No.
So
No, they don't.
there's some divisions that are really going to be really competitive this year. The AFC South with Houston and Liam Cohen that showed a whole lot of uptick in Jacksonville. They're going to be
Mm.
super dangerous.
Mhm.
You've added pieces. The Colts. I don't know. They were undefeated, kicking people's tails until the quarterback got hurt.
Mhm.
So how good are they going to be if he's back healthy?
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
You got the Titans who are making draft picks and making moves that should be better. There's a lot of division. Your division, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the improved Giants, the now improved
Mhm.
Redskins. There seems like so much parity now compared to the past. It just makes it really exciting to me as a football fan because I can just see some dog fights in almost every one of these divisions. I can see dog fights for the top spot or top 2 spots if you're trying to make a wild card. So it should be a really exciting year. I think there's going to be some teams that surprise us and make the playoffs, and some teams that we expected to make it that, be it injuries or age or fall offs, there'll be some teams that don't make it. I'm excited. I think we've got a really fun year in store. I'm excited to watch it play out. A great way to start. We started off on a Wednesday or a Thursday.
I think
I
a
think
Wednesday.
maybe
Yeah, Wednesday,
both.
yeah.
We might have a game both.
I think it's both. It's Wednesday
I
and
think there
Thursday.
might be a Wednesday game and a Thursday
I
game.
think it is, yeah.
Then you go into the first weekend, and then you've got a huge Monday night game with the Chiefs and the Broncos. This first week is kicking off. It's gangbusters, man. They're going out with games in the middle of the week and capping it off with a huge Monday night game and a slate that involves some early in division matchups in week one. It's going to be a ton of fun right out of the gate. I can't wait, man. I cannot wait.
I cannot wait too, man. Like I said, starting off on that Wednesday, you got New England and Seattle rematch for the Super Bowl, and then you turn around that Thursday, you got 49ers and the Rams to kick off the season. That's crazy.
And both of those are great games, and that's on a
Absolutely.
Wednesday and a
And a third,
Thursday.
yes, and then
We hadn't even talked about what happened Sunday,
yeah,
and then we've
exactly.
already brought up the Monday night game, which is a
Uh,
great game
yeah,
and a
Monday.
divisional matchup, and 2 teams that don't like each other. It's like, yes, this is a hell of a way to start off the season.
It is, man. It is here. Like I said, I got the week 1 schedule here. Like I said, you got Seattle with New England starting on that Wednesday. You got Thursday, you got the 49ers and the Rams. Sunday, you got Bears, Panthers, Bengals, Tampa Bay, Saints, Lions, your Texans and the Bills, Ravens and Colts. Browns, Jacksonville, Atlanta Steelers, Jets, Titans, Cardinals, Chargers, Dolphins, Raiders, Packers, Vikings, my Commanders, and the Eagles. Then you got on Sunday Night Football, you got Dallas and Giants, NFC East battle, and then, of course, like I said, that Monday night game, you got Denver and Kansas
Look
City.
at that.
That's week 1. Week 1!
That is loaded up. Loaded
Man.
up. Like, each of the individual the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Sunday night, the Monday night,
Oh, man.
those are all A-tier games. And then
Absolutely.
Sunday, like, the Texans and the Bills, that's a great
That's
Sunday
a good
game.
game. That's a
The
good game.
Commanders and the Eagles
Yeah.
divisional rivalry right out of the
Mhm.
gate. That's a great game.
Yes.
Things are shaking up there's no A.J. Brown in Philly.
Yeah, yeah,
New OC in Philly. We
yeah.
don't know how that's
We
gonna work
don't.
out.
We
Are
really
they gonna
don't.
be a run-heavy team? Well, y'all just added some pieces to help stop the run. What
Yes.
there's no reason to believe the Commanders couldn't knock off the Eagles the first week of the season before teams are rolling on all 8 cylinders, and right out of the gate, we've got, the Eagles down 1 in the division.
Mhm.
Dallas and the Giants, one of those teams has to win, one has to lose on Sunday
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
So that division is gonna be 2 teams 1-0, 2 teams 0-1 after the
Mhm.
first week, and the dogfight's already in progress.
I'm telling you, man.
There were some other good games. There's some dog walks.
That's some
Like,
good.
anybody out there that is a gambler like I am, I can tell you right now, fade the Cardinals week 1, the Chargers are gonna dog walk them. Lay the
Yes.
points. I ain't even seen a line yet.
No.
I'll tell you blindfolded, I'll tell you.
I'll
Lay
take
the
that.
points, take the Chargers, and that bet is going to the bank, buddy. They're gonna dog walk them. But there's
Absolutely,
some
man.
good games. There's
That's
some
a
good games that day.
Absolutely, man. I'll be right there in front of my TV with my snacks, man, watching some games, man. I love it, man. Get some good food, get some pizza or something, and be watching some football. Week 1.
Me too. Yeah, our first week's a tough draw too.
That's a
The
tough
Bills
game.
is no joke.
That's no joke, man. The
We
Bills right
got
off the jump.
Josh Allen. They
That's
added DJ Moore, so now they got a wide
Oh, yeah,
receiver
that's
1
right.
to
That's
go with
right. DJ Moore's over
Shakir.
there.
So, we got a tough one right up. We might be starting out 0-1.
That could be.
I
That's
hope
not
not, but
hopefully not, but
one of those
hey.
2 teams is gonna start out 0-1. So that's 2 teams that both go into the season expecting and believing they're gonna be in the playoffs, and one of them's taking an L right out of the gate week 1. And
Yeah.
that's gonna be a whole lot of teams that are in that position.
Oh, yeah, man, and like I said, with some of those division matchups, I always say with division games, you never know with division games. Those games can be tricky. That's the team you play every year, twice a year. Those games, you got throw records and stuff out the window. Those games are real tosses. Anytime you get division football, that's some tough matchups, man. I don't care what the records are, who's on the team. Any team can beat you, man, on any given Sunday when it comes to division football. So week 1's gonna be a bookie, man.
100%. And when you 100%. And when you have those matchups like week 1 and week 2, the first couple weeks of the season,
Yeah.
when especially again, where everything aligns and we go back to our initial conversation where very few stars play in the preseason.
Mhm.
So those first couple weeks, those stars are trying to get their feet under them and trying to get in a rhythm and trying to get things wacky things happen the first couple weeks of the season. And when you got division games that are already wacky anyway, because everybody knows everybody so well, knows all their tendencies, knows all the things they try to sneak and do, you add them to the mix that's happened in the first couple weeks of the season, man, there's going to be a lot of turmoil with a lot of teams that start out 0-2 or something this year that everybody were going scratching their head going, well, I thought they were going to be a playoff team. Well, they still may be, but
Mhm.
weird things happen early in the season and
Oh,
weird
yeah.
things happen in conference games. And there's a lot of conference games the first couple weeks of this season.
Mhm. Like my Commanders right off the jump. Here's the Commanders schedule. First 2 games. Philly first game, Dallas second game, home opener against Seattle. Then we go overseas to play the Colts, come back, play the Giants, 49ers on Monday Night Football, bye week, come out of the bye, Eagles, Rams, Giants on Thursday Night Football, Bengals on Monday Night Football, Cardinals, Titans, your Texans, Falcons, Vikings, Jacksonville, and then we end the season with Dallas. That's our schedule.
You end the season with Dallas, but look how many early in division game. You got a bunch. You have
Oh
3 before the
yeah,
bye. I think you told me.
absolutely. Yeah, Eagles and Cowboys off the jump. Then after we come back from overseas, we play the Giants. After the bye, we play the Eagles, and then the Rams and
So
Giants.
yeah, right after the bye, first week out, and that's another one. Games after a bye week get wacky
Yeah.
because you don't know, did the team take the bye week to just recoup in health and they come back better? Are they more prepared because they had 2 weeks to prepare for the team they're going to play?
Mhm.
You would like to think so.
Mhm.
I thought that last year. And we
Mhm.
came out of the bye last year and faced the Seattle Seahawks, and they dog walked us
See?
from the first whistle to the last whistle
See?
after we had 2 weeks to prepare for them.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you've got 4 in division games if you
Yep.
count the Eagles right after the bye,
Bye week.
which is a
Yeah.
wacky week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at that point, you're only like 6 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks in the season, and you've already had 4 division games. So you
Yes.
could either be doing really well in your division, or you could be going, "Uh-oh, we got a problem."
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I say, you got the Rams in there. The 49ers not gonna be no slouch. Gotta go overseas to play the Colts. Home opener against Seattle. Our home opener is against the defending Super Bowl champions, man. Like, come on.
And
Crazy.
overseas,
Gotta go
let's not
overseas.
act like
Go overseas to
overseas
play the
games
Colts.
don't get wacky.
No, gotta go
So
overseas
you
to
got
play
a
the
whole
Colts.
bunch of wacky in there.
Oh
You
yeah,
got
man.
4 division games, a bye week, and a
Yeah,
international game
yeah.
all in the
All
first 6 weeks. That's a whole
yeah,
lot of wacky.
yeah, man. Yeah, and then like I
And
say,
it could be good wacky or it could be bad
it
wacky.
could be. And like I said, and then come out of that bye, Eagles, Rams, Giants on Thursday night football, Bengals on Monday night football. Like, I mean, come on. Brutal.
That's crazy.
That's insane, man. Like I say, if we come out of that halfway decent, hey, I'll take it, man. But who knows, man? Things can get real division games, overseas games. It could get real funky in there for us, man.
Yep. 100% agree.
There we go, man. There we
A
go,
great
man.
week 1 though. A great way to start the season.
Oh yeah,
You
absolutely,
gotta
man.
tip you gotta tip your cap to the NFL for that one because
Yeah,
they set
that week
all the
one's gonna be some good football. That's gonna be some very good football week one, man. We gonna, like I said, we gonna be glued to our TVs, man. Glued to our TVs watching
Yep.
ball.
Even when them greedy dogs trying to make even Wednesday night now, I
Exactly.
gotta
I'm
look
like,
at my
come
calendar
on.
and go, "Well, I'm glued to my TV Wednesday because that's a banger game. I'm glued Thursday because that's a banger game.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not going nowhere Saturday because that's college
That's
football.
college
I'm not going
football. I'm getting more
nowhere
into college
Sunday because
football.
that's a
Yeah,
whole slate, and then a banger
exactly.
on Monday night." Yeah,
Hmm.
they're gonna monopolize my week real soon.
Exactly. For ball fans like us, man, we in heaven, man. We gonna be in
My
heaven.
wife's
Just
gonna be cussing me. Lord, she's
oh,
gonna be cussing me.
oh man. Your wife, is she a football fan? Is she like football? She like a sports fan? Your wife?
No.
Not sports.
Now she's been in our fantasy football league for, gosh, probably a decade. Like she knows when she watches it, she knows what she's watching.
Uh huh.
But like if it's her choice, I'll be watching football on one TV and she'll be watching whatever Hallmark show
Yeah, on her.
or
Yeah,
whatever she wants to watch
yeah.
on her TV. She
There, there you go.
Now, like sometimes when all the boys are together, like if the family's together, if we cook out and stuff, then she'll sit around with us and watch some of it. But no, it's not. She's not going to sit down with me and watch all the games. That won't be happening.
That won't be happening.
No,
No,
no.
man.
But she'll know where to find me because she'll know all
Yeah.
I got to do is look in front of his TV.
So there you
That's where
go.
he's going to
Hey,
be
hey,
all the
hey.
time during
There you
football
go.
season.
During football season, I'm not too hard to find. If I ain't working on anything or working on a podcast, man, I'm glued in front of my TV with my snacks and I'm watching football on my big screen TV, man.
Yes, and then with the college season, the college teams like the MAC, they'll have where they have I can't remember the channel, but there's Maction every Wednesday night on one of my cable channels. I get
Oh,
teams from the MAC play.
oh,
Not
okay.
many people from the MAC, not many football fans watch the MAC as a division. They're not high level programs,
Uh-huh.
but I'm a degenerate, man. I'm a football junkie. I'm a
Oh,
degenerate.
same
So
here,
on
man.
Wednesday nights, if there's not a pro game, I'll be watching Maction. So and by the time then there'll be Friday night, college games. There'll be Friday
Yeah.
college Saturday. Yeah, my week, I'll be lucky to have 2 days a week that don't have football games on them
Yeah,
where I can act like a normal human being.
I'm telling
Other
you,
than
man.
that, Yeah, I'm pretty much locked up those months.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because I got DirecTV now on my TV, so I get a lot of I get all the games and everything, the pro games, the college games and everything. I got a new 43-inch 4K TV, so I'm ready for the season, man. I'm locked and loaded, man. Locked and loaded.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes,
all
sir. I
right.
got my big screen, got the surround sound hooked up to it. We're ready.
There you go, man. There you go. Just get some snacks and you're good to go. I love it, man.
And for degenerates like you and me, besides the real, I'll air quotes, you can't see me, but I'm air quoting, real football, besides all of that, you and I both play fantasy football.
We do fantasy
So
football too, so
besides the
we got
real
that.
stuff,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
which which requires
That
study and
requi
setting lineups
Yes.
and yeah,
Yes.
so
That's a whole
those
nother
couple of
ball
off
game,
days
man.
a week, we gotta
Yes.
be searching the waiver wire and making
Yes.
pickups.
Yes. Yes, man.
So, yeah, it's that
We indeed.
degenerate time of year is
It
right
is,
around the corner.
man. It is, man. It is, man. But hey, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love it, man. It keeps me busy, it keeps me out of trouble, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right,
sir.
man. Yes, sir, man. All right. Well, we'll end things on that. I want to thank you for joining me here today, man. Always good having you on here talking some ball. Anything you want to plug and promote before we get up out of here? Or you good to go?
Man, the only thing I wanna plug and promote is your stuff,
Oh,
but the only people that are gonna hear me plug it on your show is the people listening to your show, so that's not gonna help you a whole lot, but I am gonna plug it and promote it on my social spots.
yes.
But,
Please
yeah, I
do,
think you're
man.
doing a great
Appreciate it.
job, man.
Thank you.
I watch a lot of the stuff you do, not only with the football, both you and I, it's another degenerate thing we're both
We're
in on.
wrestling fans too.
Yeah, you knew exactly where I was going, and
Okay,
I know
man.
you do a lot of the interviews with the, uh, most any female wrestler that's anybody on the independent circuit, and a
I'm
lot of
talking
them
to
have
him.
now gone on to bigger stages, bigger things.
Mhm.
You've interviewed most all of them, and if you hadn't, they're on your list to
Yeah,
interview,
I did an interview
and
earlier
you do a great
today.
job with those.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do a great job with those. You do a great job of helping those young ladies get exposure and,
Absolutely.
just get their name out there a little bit.
Yes, that's what
And
it's
with
about, man.
independent wrestling, I've been involved in indie wrestling for shit over 30, almost 35 years now. I've been
Wow.
involved in wrestling.
Okay.
And so the fact that I've seen the grind, and it's so different now. When I started back with Chris Adams in Dallas,
Mhm.
everything was more territorial back then. There would
Yeah.
be road shows and stuff, but it was
Yeah.
like you had a certain area you stuck to. And it's like if you can't just stay nowadays, you can't just stay in one little territory or one little town. You have to travel, you have to get
Yeah.
out, you have to
Yeah.
get your name out, you have to get your videos out, you
Yeah.
have to get eyes on you everywhere.
Absolutely.
And part of you doing all those interviews is part of what helps that happen. Because
Yes.
even if they don't see a whole lot of footage on your interview, they hear their story and they hear where they're wrestling and they hear where you can see them wrestle and links to matches that they do have.
Yeah.
So it gives so many more people a chance to put eyes on them and get them exposure. I just think you do a great job with that. On top of everything you do with the Three and Out podcast, you've been kicking tail with that for a long time too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I mean, you're a busy man. I don't know what to tell you.
I
They
don't
call you
I
money maker for a reason because you
Yeah.
keep your mind on your money and your money on your mind, and you're a grinder, man. You
I
grind
am,
all the
man.
time,
Thank
and
you.
that's why you're good at what you do, brother.
Thank you, man. Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, I love talking football. I love wrestling. I love baseball. I'm gonna be doing a baseball show at some point this week, talking about the All-Star game and home run derby. I just love sports, man. Love sports, love wrestling, man. Just trying to do positive things out here, man. And I appreciate the kind words, man. Appreciate you noticing my hard work.
Oh, man, you make it hard to miss. You're
Hey,
always
did
grinding, so you make it hard to miss.
hey,
But I
appreciate that.
appreciate you having me on. I know you could have chose anybody. Is this your first football one of the year or the season?
You're the first one with a guest. I did a couple solo ones with this new relaunch of the podcast, but you're the first one with a guest on too. You're my first guest on this relaunch of the Three and Out podcast. You're my first guest for this relaunch.
The first pick in the 2026
Hey, there
NFL
we go.
podcast
There
draft.
we go. There we go. I got my man
I'm
Damon.
hanging the plaque on the wall now, baby.
There
Somebody
you
fit me
go,
for a
man.
gold jacket.
There you go, man. Yeah, I did a couple of solo ones. I said I need a guest for the first one. Get somebody else on here to talk ball. I've been just hearing my voice. I said, let me get my man Damon on here. So it hadn't been a while since we was on the podcast. I said, hey, let's get this rocking and rolling, man. It was a great episode, man. Great talking ball. I'm gonna have you back during the regular season too. We're gonna do it again. Talk about some of these crazy game stuff going on once the season gets started.
Oh, anytime, man. Anytime you call, I'm there.
Alright, sounds good, man. Sounds good, man. Like I said, we all over social media, 3 and Out Renaissance Podcast over on Twitter, Instagram. Check us out. And also, too, like I said, the interviews, TMC Podcast 1, all over social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. Check us out and support me on those platforms as well. Once again, thank you, Damon, for joining me. You guys take care. Be safe as always, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Empires out of buildings. I wanna leave a legacy of helping others finally feel things, of motivating and killing depression, exhaustion. We need some healing. I work through the pain. I like seeing gains. I keep my head down, buried, walk through the flames. Yeah, I do this every day, even when I feel drained. A true man pushes through. You don't hear complaints. No, I don't wanna stay the same, yeah. So I keep pushing through the pain, yeah. That's the only way to make a change, yeah. So I fight every day and train, yeah. It'll all be worth it. One day it'll all be worth it. So I keep pushing through the pain, yeah. That's the only way to make a change, yeah. I've had enough.